Hey guys. Okay, so first of all, yep, late again. I know it's becoming a thing, isn't it? I should call myself late fangirl instead of film fangirl, am I right? But I will say that I actually did do a review. I did it on time. And when I was posting it, there were some technical difficulties. And so I have actually had to redo this video about 4 times now. The first 3 times because of technical difficulties. One was the heat. We have a really bad heat storm going on. You know, summer just doesn't want to leave. And we ended up having to, deal with that. It took out some lights on our streets. It was really, really bad. And we had an outage temporarily, and so the review would not post. And then when we got our Wi-Fi back, my video erased itself. So that happened. The second and third time, something just went down with my, well, actually the second time something went down with my iPad or with my smart pad, and I don't know what was going on. It was glitching out like heck, and I was just like, oh, what is happening? And I got really frustrated. I was like, I'm so done with this, and I need to go take a walk. I'm so done with this. And then the third time is actually my own doing, because I realized that as I was reviewing it, even though it was the third time and I had written down notes, I missed a lot. Like, major plot points that were a really bad thing to miss if you are a movie reviewer. And so I was watching it and, like, just watching myself, just like, oh my gosh, how did you miss that? And like imagining you guys watching it and being like, Janice, did you even watch the movie? Like, I don't know what was wrong with me. I had a total brain lapse or something. I had to literally delete it and just start over. And I just when I thought it's like, no, the third time's the charm. That's all I'm doing. I was like, no, I have to redo this. I have to. So here I am redoing it. So this is the first movie of sequels month, and I just have to say, guys, I know it's not yet September, it's not yet sequels month, but guys, you sent me so many. I was so moved. I just could not believe it. Like, you guys have always been so supportive and so amazing in everything that I do and everything that I work on. But when I sent out this request for sequels month, I couldn't believe how many people sent a request. Not just people on my Tumblr, on my YouTube, but even at work were sending requests to me. And I'm just so touched that you guys would do this for me. You are amazing. Thank you so much. And I cannot wait to work on your reviews. And I have many requests, so I'm going to have to figure out a way to kind of like sort them together so that they're done by September. Maybe doing like 3 each week. We'll see. Let's see what you think of my way of doing things, and if you enjoy it, then I will just do one each, 3 times a week. So we'll see what happens. So the first one in our little docket is actually the 4th movie of its series. It is Bride of Chucky. And I consider it a sequel because it technically is a sequel, since it did come out and it does follow the story still, and it is a continuation of the story that came before it. It takes place afterwards, so it is still a sequel. This one was recommended to me by my good friend Mariana. Thank you so much for your recommendations. Guys, Mariana has a blog on her Tumblr. It is called Meryl96. I will put a link to it down below. I say this because she is an amazing fanfic writer, and I want you guys to have a chance to really have just an exploration of different fan fictions. I don't think fanfic writers get enough appreciation. Some people do not even consider them writers. Strongly disagree. When you've watched how many hours you watch your friends spend and how much they put into their stories, you see for yourself they are true-bred writers. And so I wanted to recommend not only her blog, so you can check out some of the really cool opinions that she has and some of the really cool aesthetics that she makes, but also to check out her fanfiction on Archives of Our Own. And I will leave a link down there. Her name in the Archives of Our Own is Marilyn, and I will have a link down below. So Mariana, you were the first one. You sent it 5 seconds after I put my post up. You could not wait to send me this one, and I was so excited that you did because I love Bride of Chucky. It's not a fan favorite, which I was actually surprised to hear, and maybe I'm wrong, but I've heard a lot of people don't really like this movie. In fact, some reviewers that I watched really don't like this one. They think that it kind of steals away from the original horror aspect. I myself don't mind it because I like horror and comedy, and I've always found the Chucky series to be pretty funny. I mean, I think maybe the one that wasn't so funny are the ones later. They get a little more serious later, but they don't like get like totally angsty. They're always still kind of funny. Chucky himself is an ornery, morbid, awful psychopath. So there's gonna be some funny lines. There's gonna be some clever stuff. But yeah, Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky went down the really comical line of black comedy. Like, it really was considered dark humor. The other ones just had funny moments in them. This was like, these were comedies. These were really, really funny. I think another thing that people didn't like about Bride of Chucky is the characters. Not Chucky himself and the character that I will be speaking of, but some of the main characters. We were very used to the characters of the first three movies. The first three movies have very likable characters, really likable protagonists that you want to cheer for, you are invested in, you want them to win over Chucky. You don't want Chucky to win because, you know, you hate Chucky in the first three because you really care about these characters. You actually, like, I wouldn't have minded at all if Chucky won in this one. I mean, he doesn't because he's an idiot and he dies every single time and fails miserably. Like, he's only won ever once in a shocking display, and he needed a little help because he's dumb. He's a dumb doll, man. His plans, he's got a problem and it's called killing. He just wants to kill, and every time he's so close to doing his plan, getting his plan right, he's just like, oh, a person to kill. You know, he's really stupid. But this time around, you're actually kind of like, you know, if you want to succeed, that's perfectly fine with me because these protagonists are so unlikable, and I will get into why that is. So, Bride of Chucky, it takes place after the first three. For those of you who have not watched Chucky in general, the Child's Play franchise, as it is called, as the first movies were technically Child's Play 1, 2, and 3. Chucky he was once a human being, a psychotic human being named Charles Lee Ray. He was chased down by the cops into a toy store. He recited an incantation, a voodoo incantation, that would transfer his soul to resurrect into another body. It ended up resurrecting into a doll. And so when he was shot and killed by the police, he resurrected into a good guy doll. It was a very popular doll that came out at the time. Personally, I would not want one. It looks like Annabelle. Freaks me out. No, thank you. Sally Ragdoll freaked me out. Annie Ragdoll? I don't even know her name. Raggedy Ann? Raggedy Ann. She freaked the heck out of me when I was little. So, yeah, nope, no thank you. I don't want no good guy Tommy in my home. But little boy did want him. We'll talk a little bit more about those characters. But the main premise of Chucky, or his story, is that in order to come back to life, or to be human again, he needs to transfer his soul into the body of one of the first people that he speaks to, a human that he speaks to. And since he constantly fails and dies, he finds loopholes, because every time he comes back, he'll be like, oh, I'll speak to you. So the beginning of Bride of Chucky, he is once again reformed into the doll and almost gets away with, you know, killing someone and then going off to find Andy again or finding another body or something like that. But he ends up running into, because she is actually looking for him, his ex-girlfriend, well, not ex, girlfriend and accomplice, and one of the best characters ever introduced in the Chucky franchise, a fan favorite, one of my favorites, one of Mariana's favorites, the Harley Quinn to Chucky's Joker. I'm not kidding, this is exactly what they think of. Tiffany. Guys, Tiffany is played by Jennifer Tilly, and she is brilliant. Just what she does with this character is so good. From when she has to be a human, just like Brad Dourif, who plays Charles Lee Ray, and then later Chucky, just like what he does with his character versus what he does to become the doll is the same with her. I mean, just what she goes as being Tiffany and then becoming the doll is amazing. You don't feel like you're just listening to them voicing the characters. You feel like they're playing the dolls. It's unbelievable. It's so impressive, and she is hilarious, and the dynamic between the two is brilliant. It's so much fun. And she ends up taking him. She kills the guy who had him, cuts his throat, and then she ends up taking him back to her trailer. And she performs the incantation. Now, how she found out, that's actually... I don't remember how she found out, or if it even tells you how she found out. But she finds out about the spell, and she performs the incantation to resurrect his soul into the doll. And she thinks it doesn't work at first, and so she's like, I'm really sad. It really didn't work. I want a booty call. So she calls this dude over to the house to, you know, have sex. This goth dude that she wants. And Chucky ends up coming back to life and killing the man, and she's actually very happy because she's like, "Yay, you're alive and you're killing this guy! Woohoo!" And so he murders the guy, and then he gives Tiffany a ring, which she thought was like his way of proposing to her, but it was actually just from one of his wealthy victims. And I don't quite understand the whole ring thing or what leads to this, but it leads to an argument, and it basically is like she thought he was going to propose to her, she thought that they were going to be together forever, and he's like, heck no, I'm out of here as soon as I get a body. And so she locks him in a cage because he's a little bad boy. He's a naughty boy, and then she goes to sleep and cry on the dead body of the man that she watched murder and enjoyed watching die. But eventually she gives Chucky a little bride doll, like this porcelain bride doll, to make fun of him, which that is hilarious. And he gets out and he kills her. But before she dies, he performs the incantation so that her soul is transferred into the bride doll. And then she wakes up and realizes, like, ah, crap. And her reaction is gold. I mean, she's just like, seriously? And he's like, yeah, now you're gonna help me, right? She's like, I guess I don't have a choice. Like, it's a normal reaction that I would get if I were to wake up inside the body of a doll because my psychotic boyfriend put me in there. But she is a psychopath herself. The two of them have different mindsets from normal people. So, yeah, they roll with the punches, those two. So they have to find a body. Preferably a husband and a wife, or a couple. And they choose Jade and Jesse. You see, I even had to flip the page, even though I have said their names several times, because these two are the most unlikable protagonists of any of the Chucky movies. Not of any horror movie. There were plenty I could list, but like I said, in the first three movies, you care a lot about Andy, the little boy. You care about Kyle, his foster sister. You care about his mom, who is considered crazy because of what happened. You even really like the detective, Mike. I like Detective Mike. One, he's played by Chris Sarandon, voice of Jack from Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare Before Christmas, not Nightmare on Elm Street. Wow! That would be an interesting musical. No, not that one. Nightmare Before Christmas. He plays Jack, and then he's also Prince Humperdinck in The Princess Bride. Just gotta throw that out. I really like him. And I like this character in the first movie. I think it's hinted that later Andy does come back. Like, his storyline continues, and so does with Kyle. But he's not in these ones, and I think people were a little disappointed that he wasn't, and that his replacements had to be. Like I said, those guys were really likable. These guys are superficial to the max. Every single protagonist or human character, super unlikable. And just to give it a little taste here. So Jade is played by Katherine Heigl, and I apologize if I got her name wrong. I don't watch a lot of her stuff. I'm so sorry. She's famous for Grey's Anatomy, and I saw 27 Dresses, which I really liked. I can't think of what else she's been in. I'm so sorry. If you guys know anything, please let me know in the comments below. Jesse is played by, I don't have any idea what this guy's been in, and so I have no idea how to pronounce his name. Nick Stabile, or Stabile? I think it's Stabile. Anyways, Jade has she lives with her uncle, and he is played by John Ritter. I got that one right. Detective Warren, or Chief Warren, Officer Warren, he's played by John Ritter, and I love John Ritter. And I think it's like a play to his, 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter, because like he's really strict with Jade. And so she is dating a guy that he does not approve of. She even tries to trick her uncle by going to the prom with her friend David, and he is a very like straightforward guy. Straightforward, see what I did there? If you've seen the movie, you get that. But they end up like meeting halfway so that Jessie can get in the car, because she's actually going with him. David is gay, and he is perfectly cool being the third wheel. But hey, look, I respect David. He does end up being just as unlikable as the other characters, but out of all of them, at least, if anyone was gonna have to be in this movie and not make me want to hit them, David is a pretty cool guy. I mean, it was pretty cool of him. I think it's cool that he would do this. Unfortunately, he is supporting the worst kind of people. Jade and Jessie are awful, awful friends, awful people in general. So David, you picked the wrong crew. But it was nice of you to try and be, the good friend to help them. The officer catches on to it. He's not stupid. He's kind of stupid. Everyone is. But he's not stupid enough to fall for it. So he catches them and he arrests Jessie. Which, I don't want you to arrest him. It's not like he's kidnapping her or something. Or did he just kick him to the curb? I don't know. Jade's like, oh, so unfair. And Jesse's like, oh, this isn't fair, you just don't like me because I'm trailer trash, which the officer is right. That's exactly why he doesn't like him, which I'm like, wow, you're just kind of the worst person ever. It's one thing to be, like, protective and just, like, care about your niece because you think that she's with the wrong guy. She is. But because he's poor, that's the only reason you don't like him. Like, that's kind of messed up. He's supposed to be a troublemaker, but he doesn't really do anything very troublemaking, except what he ends up doing is convincing Jade to run off and elope. They're gonna run off and get married. They're gonna get married, and David supports it. And when Officer Warren finds out, he tries to get Jessie in trouble by planting marijuana in his trailer. I'm like, awful human beings. So when Chucky and Tiffany, they decide that that's going to be the people that they're going to choose. Maybe they just want to up their brain cells a little, because if Chucky and Tiffany are in their brains, at least they'll have some smarts, I guess. I don't know. Honestly, I kind of wish they had one. It would have been kind of funny to see these two become psychopaths. It would give Nick Stabile a lot more fun with his role, because Jesse's a twig, and it would be more fun for him. Oh, see, now I wish that had happened. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, spoilers. They don't succeed. They never succeed. Well, they do succeed at one point, but it's just like long ways. And Chucky never succeeds, never wins. Just gonna tell you that right now. But and their plan's pretty solid. It's as solid as it can be for this film. Basically, the amulet that they have to perform the ritual to do the body transfer, soul transfer, sorry, it was buried with Charles Lee Ray. I think that was kind of confusing for me, because I don't know why that would be if he's had the amulet all this time as the doll. He has constantly had access to the amulet. So I don't know why it was buried with his body. I missed why that was. I'm gonna have to rewatch it again. This is the 4th time and I'm still getting things wrong. I'm so sorry, you guys. Mariana, if you know, please let me know in the comments. mainly because I'm an idiot. But they need the amulet. They need to get it. So they have to get to, I think it's, this I don't feel that bad not remembering because it's, I don't know places. New Hampshire, I think. They got to get to New Hampshire. So they text or call Jesse, and Tiffany is his neighbor. That's how they know each other. And she offers him some money if he is willing to make a delivery. And so if he is willing to take her trailer and go to where she asked him to go, to the New Hampshire, and drop some things off, then she'll pay him. And he thinks, yeah, absolutely. And so he grabs Jade and he's like, we're gonna run away, we're gonna get married, and they go on a little ride, but the detective is trying to get him in trouble, Officer Warren, and he tries to plant marijuana in the trailer, and Chucky and Tiffany are like, okay, well, first of all, they're like, that was stupid. They don't say that, but I'm sure they're thinking it. Like, what? It's not even his trailer, it's Tiffany's, I think. Or maybe it is his trailer. I don't know, this is a stupid plan. But Chucky and Tiffany can't have him disrupting the plan, so they kill him. Or, well, kill him. He actually survives his brutal attempt of murder, and they stuff him inside of like a case, and he's actually alive for quite some time before he eventually is killed. And it's like, whoa, that's poor guy. That's a tough break. Poor John Ritter. Rest in peace, by the way. Amazing actor. He did eventually pass away. Very, very sad. And his son, Jason Ritter, is a really great actor, just like his dad. He's the voice of Dipper in Gravity Falls, and he actually went on to be in the horror movie Jason versus Freddy, who was actually made Freddy versus Jason, sorry. How dare I put Jason and Freddy in the wrong spot. Freddy versus Jason. And he actually was like one of the only likable characters in that movie. He's a good actor. I wish he was playing Jesse. Nothing against Nick Stabile, but at least I could look at his gorgeous, familiar face instead of these two knuckleheads. Where was I? Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so anyways, he is not dead, but the two of them don't ever look inside their stuff. I don't know, if I have a trailer and I'm driving all the way down somewhere, wouldn't you guys like kind of want to look around at the trailer that you're staying in? And they never do. I mean, there are two bodies now inside this trailer, and they never look. Well, they do eventually look, and do you know what their reaction is? You killed him! What? No! You killed him! Yeah. Jesse and Jade accuse each other of murder. This is a great couple. This is a true relationship. When a better relationship in the movie are two psychopathic dolls, there's a problem that not even therapy would be able to fix. These two are idiots. It's like, you guys are gonna accuse each other of murder? Not gonna want to look into this? Like, why are there two dead bodies? Oh, one of them does end up being her uncle, so I could see why she would kind of think, like, you didn't approve of him and everything. But why would you still go along and marry him? They get to Las Vegas and they decide they're going to get married. They're going to elope. The entire wedding is hilarious. And I think even like Chucky and Tiffany were just like amused by it because they're disturbed beyond belief. They don't want to get married. They don't like each other anymore. They don't trust each other anymore. Yeah, they have like a moment of like, yeah, we need to trust each other. They don't even want to sleep together on their honeymoon. They just want to be as far apart from each other as possible. So Chucky and Tiffany are like, well, I mean, if they don't want to do it, we will. Because Tiffany finds out that Chucky has... Well, I promised my friends I would say it. And a few friends were like, say it, say it. I've said it 4 times now. I don't know why I still hesitate to say it. But yeah, I'm going to do it again. Chucky has a doll dick. Yeah, that's me. Has a doll dick. And so he and Tiffany have a very erotic, sexual doll sex. I know you've heard the term. heard doll sex before. I've just never heard it in this way. I sat there the entire time laughing so hard I wanted to cry. I think I was crying because I was laughing so hard. It was so funny. I think some people find this scene disturbing. I was laughing. I was like, oh my gosh, they went there. People had to film this. 2 dolls. It's funny. If you're gonna go out, go all the way, man. So they do. So eventually they get sick and tired, as we do, of Jade and Jesse just constantly bickering and constantly fighting, and David ends up getting involved. It's like, why did you call David? Because David's even like, when they find the body of the uncle, they're like, oh my gosh, you guys are killers, you guys did this, and he starts freaking out. So Chucky and Daphne are like, all right, we've had enough. We need to get to New Hampshire now. We are on a time limit. We're done with this. And so they go like Mama, Papa Bear, and they kill David. And then they take over, and they're like, all right, here's the deal. We're alive. We're resurrected into creepy little dolls. You guys are going to become our bodies. So get in the car. And so they're holding them hostage. And Tiffany is like decorating Jade, getting her all ready and beautiful for, you know, the transfer while Nick is driving. I keep calling him Nick. His real name's Nick. I just hate Jesse so much. I just want to call him by the actor's name. Jesse is driving, and they eventually get the upper hand. It's not that hard to do. Don't be impressed by it, because they're dolls, and they're really, really stupid dolls at that. I mean, Chucky got the crap beat out of him constantly by a little boy, so, you know, it just to tell you, it's not hard to do. They do get the upper hand, but eventually Chucky and Tiffany do successfully get them to the graveyard, where they are forced to undig the body of Charles E. Ray, get the amulet, and in the process of the transferring, as per usual, fails miserably. And then during their confrontation, when they're duking it out and trying to fight, and Jesse gets injured because, well, he's an idiot, all this stuff happens, and then we get the surprise twist that no one saw coming, because I don't think anybody wanted it. But it happens anyway, and yes, it is pertaining to the sequel of this movie. Tiffany is pregnant. Chucky's eggs swim fast. She's pregnant. And she ends up... Jesse and Jay get away, and I think a detective or a gravedigger, maybe? This I do need to look up. I'm so sorry. I had all these written down, but I want to get this right. I know it's just small potatoes, but I do want to kind of get this right. They kill quite a few other people on the way, by the way. I did not include all the other people that they kill. They go on a killing spree all the way down. But I thought I would mention at least the uncle, the goth, and David, because they're kind of the big ones. But yes, pretty much a lot of people are killed. Oh, David is killed by a truck driver. Sorry, not by Chucky and Tiffany. But I do want to at least say what happens at the end here, because this gets really interesting. So you see, what happens is a private investigator, that's it. A private investigator comes to the scene, and Tiffany has her baby. She's dead. She's dead. I mean, they failed. She is dead. The baby pops out, attacks the private investigator's face, and that's the end of the movie. That's the end of the movie. The baby just... I don't even know, guys. I don't even know. It's outrageous and hilarious, and I love it. I just can't stop laughing. I can't stop laughing. I think that they just wanted to have some fun with this one. They just wanted to have some fun. The lore is still there. The soul transfer thing. But yeah, that's Bride of Chucky. You know, I've heard some people who actually say, watch the first three, and then skip the rest. The rest are awful. I completely disagree. I was really entertained by this one. The next ones that come after it seems interesting. Prepare yourself with Seed. Seed's maybe more disliked than this one. I still enjoyed Seed, but Seed's strange. Seed's a strange one. If you thought this one was, wait till Seed. But the ones after it, Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky, they're amazing. The new story that they go into and just what they end up doing by bringing Andy back. They bring the actor who plays Andy back. They brought the actor who plays Kyle back, his foster sister. Those two are actually, they in real life, they're actually best friends, and they've grown up together, and they just like stayed really close, which you can definitely tell. And Brad Dourif, who plays Chucky, his daughter plays Mika in the next film. So the one who has the history with Charles Lee Ray, and then later is the next storyline with Chucky. It's his daughter. She's amazing. She's a great actress, and she has a really good playoff with Chucky. Don't skip these. They're fun. They're outrageous. They're insane. These Bride and Seed are insane, but they're so funny, and you will not regret meeting Tiffany. Tiffany is great. Even if she can do really funny, which she definitely does a lot more funny in this one. Seed, and then later she also has some emotional, vulnerable moments, and she does a great job. You're gonna love them. Tiffany is hilarious. She's the best part of this movie. So is Chucky. The other characters, I think, what was, you know, as unlikable as they are, at least they're not necessarily generic. They're not trying to be generic and trying to make you cheer for them the way that some movies are, like trying to make you care about the final girl, but you're like, no, you're an idiot. I don't care about you at all. There's some really good final girls, and there's some really good awful ones. But these guys, they're written as stupid. I mean, all the characters are written as unlikable because you want to focus more on the antagonists. Chucky and Tiffany are the stars of the show. Chucky always has been, but he really shines in this one, and so does the amazing Tiffany. So check out Bride of Chucky. I think you guys would really enjoy it, and check out Mariana's blog and her archives of our own webpage. It's amazing fan fiction. Definitely give it a shot. I will see you guys again for the next sequel that I will be doing. Let me know how you guys thought of Bride of Chucky and what you thought of my review. Correct me if I got anything wrong. Please do that. I do sometimes. All the time. And as always, love you guys. Thanks for all your support. You're amazing. Have a great night.